affordable but great makeup products that you can use on the bride. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Judith. If you're new here, please don't make it your last. On this channel, I give helpful makeup tutorials and helpful makeup tips. So click the subscribe button so you'll be part of this family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for joining me today and happy new year, guys. So in today's video is actually something very interesting, and I know most of you will be interested in this video. Actually, someone on this channel requested I do this video. I did a video of affordable foundations for beginners and non-beginners, and someone on this channel requested I do affordable but great makeup products that you can use on a bride for beginners and non-beginners. So today's video is affordable but great makeup products that you can use on the bride. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into what today's video is about. First thing I want you to know is, like I always say, you don't need to break the bank. Yes, they are affordable but great makeup products you can use on a bride, whether you're a beginner or not. So I'm not saying you should not use the high end if you can afford them. Yes, you should do that if you can afford them, but if you cannot afford them, just go for what you can afford. And this is what I'm about to show you in this video. I still use them on my bride sometimes if I said this is what works for this particular person. If you can afford the high ends, it's totally fine, but if you cannot afford them, these products are really great. And even the top makeup artists I look up to, some of them most of them still use this product. So let's get into what this video is about, guys. So most of us, while doing makeup, some of us start with the skin and some of us starts with the brows. So I'm going to start with the brows product. So this is the Davis brow pencil. You all know this Davis brow pencil. This is an OG, and this is very affordable, if not cheap, and it does the job. This is a very great product, and this is what I use on most of my clients. This product is amazing. Davis brow pencil has been there for the longest time. So this, you should have this in your kit. You can use it both on your client and on your bride. And this is another pencil. This, I don't know the name of this pencil. It has like a Chinese name written on it. This is great, amazing for a light skin. And this Davis pencil, I recommend for a dark skin, though I use it for both light and dark for. But if you want to play safe, you should play safe. Use this on a dark skin and use this on a light skin. Then we have the Pond's Oil Control Primer. Great for your brows. Usually when I started doing makeup, I use this on the skin, but not anymore. This just works perfectly well for me for the brows. If you just want to keep the brows matte, you should always want to keep the brows matte. So this is your go-to. Then next is the skin prep product. I know this is the particular product you all have been waiting for. I don't know why we're also going crazy about skin prep these days. Like, you don't have to, it's not that serious, you know. Get the basic and it works perfectly well for you. Don't follow the whole Instagram trend. Don't follow influencers and all. Trust me, there are lots of makeup products, lots of them, so many. Some you won't even know they even existed. Do you get? So just look for what works for you and stick to it. I'm going to show you guys what works perfectly and has been working for me. If you have been following me on this channel, you know that this, I don't joke with this, I always have this close to me. This is the Mismetic Micellar Water for cleansing your skin, taking out all the dirt on your skin and leaving your skin ready for the next step. This is very affordable. I'm going to be leaving the link to all these products in the description box so you'll be able to get them and know where to get them and also see the prices. But this is really affordable and it does the job. Next, the Mismetic Rose Water Toner. Not everybody needs their skin to be toned. If you're working on a dry skin, you should totally skip this process because it doesn't need to be toned. You know what toner does? It just helps you close the pores and help the skin not to excrete much oil. But if you're working on an oily skin, this is what you should use, and it's alcohol free. So no one or 95% of people don't react to this. So this is safe to work with. Next product is the Zaron Hydrating Serum, and this is the Omari Code BDU Serum. They are both hydrating serum and really affordable, and you can use this on a bride. This can replace this Advanced Nail Mousse 96. This can replace this. So if you cannot afford this, then this, you should get this. They are really nice, they do the job, and I've been using this since I discovered this product and it really works for me perfectly well. So this is your plug. So next is the moisturizer. And you know, this moisturizing part gets complicated sometimes. Yeah, it gets complicated sometimes because sometimes we don't know which moisturizers to use on a particular client or what skin type. So while showing you the affordable moisturizers you should get, I'll also be breaking it down for you on how to use them and which you should use on a particular skin. So here I have a couple of moisturizers. This is the Mismetic Moisture Potion. This is the Omari Code Hydrating Moisturizer, and this is the Olay Complete Lightweight Moisturizer. So these three moisturizers are the moisturizers I own that are really affordable. I have other moisturizers. This works very well if you're trying to create a matte finish, and if you're working on an oily skin, this is an oil-free moisturizer. So another thing you need to know is when buying a product, always read. Google is your friend. Read so you don't waste your money buying products or buying 3 or 5 products that does the same thing. You don't need that when you're trying to cut costs. So this is for an oily skin, or if you're trying to create a matte finish, which is the same thing. And this is a hydrating moisturizer. This can be used on all skin type because it's hydrating and it's lightweight. And this has a little bit of oil in it. It's like an oil-based moisturizer, and this can work perfectly well for a dry skin. So just make sure you read it so you don't end up buying so many products and you don't know how to use them. That way you're just going to spend so much money. Next are primers. One thing we are very, very interested in, like always very interested, we are so interested in primer. Very interested in primer. That want to know the most mattifying primer, how dry they are. This primer must be very dry. Or maybe you have a client that say, I have an oily skin, please look for the driest primer. Some people request for milk of magnesia. Oh no, please don't ask me for that. Don't ask me for milk of magnesia in my kids. Trust me, you don't need to overstress yourself about primers. If you know your products and know the skin type you're working on, and your skin prep is good, then it will be very easy for you. So here I have a couple of affordable primers. This is the Rimmel London Stay Matte. It says mattifying primer, but I don't consider it like a dry mattifying primer, because after using this, it doesn't strip your skin of the moisture it has. And this is the Mismetic Aqua Grip. This is a waterproof primer and an oil-proof primer. This primer, when you use this primer on the skin, like oil or sweat has nothing on your face. Trust me, this is a masterpiece. And this is a hydrating primer. If you have a client, if you have a bride that has a dry skin, this is what you should use. Don't listen to them when they tell you, please use a mattifying primer for me. Mattifying products on a dry skin won't work. So this is what you should get. But there are other ways you can work around them, which I'm going to show you. This is a Mismetic Power Seal. It says sweat and oil snag tonic. Yes, that's what it says, and that is what it does. So you can use this on your clients after priming the skin with a cotton pad. Just dab it on the T-zone and every other place they are most likely to excrete oil. And even when your client has a dry skin, you want to use it on the T-zone, because most people with dry skin, they sweat around their nose area. So if you cannot afford Meron Skin Prep or Alcon Sweat Block, you should try this. This is amazing, and this is what I use on my clients, on my brides. This is perfect. And this is the big size, I think. Yes, this is the big size, so you can get the smaller size if you can afford this size. So still on priming and still on oil skin, because most people have oil skin. They always tell you, I have an oily skin, and they are brides. They're going to be dancing. It's their big day. They're going to be dancing. They're going to be everywhere, talking to people. People will be hugging them. They're going to be sweating. So it's a whole lot of activity in one day and on one person. So you want to play safe when prepping your skin. So this is a Zaron Oil Block Mattifier. This product is a masterpiece. Trust me when I say this. So if you have a client that has an oily skin, apply this on the skin and you're good to go. And apply this before you apply your foundation. Do that and you have nothing to worry. Your makeup won't move. And make sure when you apply this, you let it absorb properly into the skin before going on the skin with your foundation. So if you've been following me on this channel, if you have been part of this family, and if not, please click the subscribe button right now and be part of this family. So if you've been following me on this channel, you know I love a glowing skin. Whether you have a dry skin, you have an oil skin, normal skin combination, I love to see the skin glow. I love to see the makeup alive. So this Nubam Beauty Illuminator, the liquid illuminator, you should have this. This is very, very nice and affordable as well. So if you cannot afford every other illuminator that are pricey, this is what you should get. This is amazing. Before we move to the product you've been waiting for, I know, the foundation. Don't leave your clients going out under the sun, your brides going out under the sun without the sunscreen. Please don't do that, because this is their big day. They're obviously going to be outside. It's an outside day, except their event is in a hall. Yes, even if it's going to be in a hall, if it's an indoor event, they go to church and take pictures outside. Or even if they don't go to church, you see photographers taking them outside to take pictures and all. So don't let them go out without the sunscreen, because after applying everything on the skin, you need a sunscreen. This is supposed to be immediately after your moisturizer. Yes, so don't let them go out without the sunscreen. And always ask them if they have their own sunscreen. Use that sunscreen on them. If they don't, get the mismetic sunscreen. No one reacts to this because it's alcohol free. So just get the mismetic sun shield and you will be safe, and your client's skin will be safe. Happy clients, happy makeup artists. Happy bride, happy makeup artist. So don't neglect your sunscreen, please. Now to the foundation part. This foundation I want to recommend are foundations I use. They have been working for me for the longest time when I started off doing bridal makeup and all, because at some point I couldn't afford the luxury brands, the high end. So these ones are the ones I was using before I switched, and sometimes I still incorporate these foundations to the foundations I want to use. Sometimes I want to have like the undertone of this foundation in the foundation I'm using. So this foundation I'm going to show you, this one, this is the Melanin Conceal and Perfect foundation. This foundation is an amazing foundation and perfect. I use this on everybody, like all skin type. But if you're going to use this on your bride, make sure it's one that has a dry skin, yes, because it's an oil infused foundation. So don't use it on a bride that has an oily skin, unless you are sure that she's just going to sit under the AC or true. But it's good to play safe, always play safe. And this, my favorite, one of my favorite foundation, one of my overall favorites foundation, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. This foundation is an amazing foundation. It's not an oil infused foundation. It works perfectly for people with an oil skin. It's a mattifying foundation, and once you have your skin prep intact and you have this foundation on top, trust me, your makeup is just going to stay. This does the job and do the job perfectly well. So try this. You are going to love it. I highly recommend. And this is the Maybelline Superstay. Oh God, who hasn't heard about the Maybelline Superstay foundation? This is one of the foundation that I will recommend every day and anytime. This foundation does the job perfectly well, and it's an amazing foundation. It's not oil infused, it's a mattifying foundation, but you can use it on a dry skin if you prep the skin properly. I have videos of how to prep the skin on my channel. I'm just going to leave it in the description box. I have a video of how to prep an oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, and a normal skin. So I'm going to leave it in the description box, so you watch the video and know how to prep your skin and know how to use the foundation. So this I highly recommend. This is the Nubam Beauty foundation, and this is a Nigerian brand. And this foundation, it says In My Skin foundation because it actually looks like skin when you apply it, and it's a foundation that can build up the coverage, and this is an amazing product. You can use it on your bride. The last foundation I'm going to recommend is the L'Oreal True Match. This foundation, ever since I started doing makeup over 7 years, I've never not had this foundation. This foundation is very, very amazing, and I use it most time on my brides. I just mix it with the other foundations I want to use because the undertones of this foundation are amazing. And the good thing about this foundation is that it just gives you, it shows you the undertone you are buying. Like this says neutral, so it shows you the undertone you're buying. It's easy for you to buy and buy it right. So from cool to warm to neutral undertone, this foundation has them. It has various of shades you can pick from, so you can, there is foundation for everybody with the L'Oreal True Match. Next, for setting powders, What I use currently on my brides is the Nora Mercier translucent powder, but this, I call it a dupe for the Nora Mercier translucent powder. This is Nuban Beauty Oil Control Setting Powder. This is one amazing foundation. It has like up to 4 shades or 5 shades if I'm not mistaken. Get all the shades because all the shades, bang, they are so amazing. But there's this particular one, alabaster, that you can actually use on everybody. Just like you can use the Laura Mercier translucent powder on everybody, so with the alabaster you can actually use it for everybody. So if you cannot afford to buy everything, just buy the alabaster. But what I have here is the mustard. This is for a medium skin tone. You can surely use this on your brides. Then this is the Yanga Beauty Blow Effect Smooth Setting Powder. This, nice, I highly recommend. This is the cinnamon. This is for a dark shade. And this is the RCMA translucent powder. It says no color powder. So this, you can use it on every skin shade because it's a no color powder. You don't want to use this particular setting powder too much on the skin. You have to just play safe and take a little on the skin. But before I use this on the skin, I usually use a pressed powder first before using this. That way it doesn't leave like a white cast or anything for me. It says no color powder, but then when I was using it without setting first with a pressed powder, it leaves like a white cast and I wasn't just enjoying it until I discovered that I have to use a pressed powder first before using this to set, and this has been working perfectly well for me. So you should try this. This should be in your kit and this can work for your bride as well. For concealers, I have a couple of concealers I'll recommend, and this is the Nuban Beauty In My Skin concealer. This is the Zaron concealer. This is Yanga Beauty concealer, and this is the OG LA Girl concealer, and this shade, this is in the shade Fawn. Like, who doesn't own this concealer? Every makeup artist owns this concealer. This particular shade in Fawn, you should own this concealer. This works perfectly well for you. It has this undertone I love so much that I just mix to my other concealers and it just works perfectly well for me. So these are the concealers I recommend for you. These concealers are really affordable and great. You can use them on your bride. They work perfectly well. And for your setting spray and your finishing spray, these are the ones I recommend, which are really affordable. This is the Mismetic. This is a matte finish spray. It has a velvet spray if you're trying to create a dewy finish, but this is the matte finish spray. This is really nice and it makes your makeup to last for a very long time. And these are finishing spray. This is the Nuban Beauty finishing spray. This just brings your makeup together and make it into one layer. Not like it makes your makeup last or increase the longevity of your makeup. It just brings them into one layer. And this is the Maribadesco finishing spray. This also just brings your makeup together and make it into one layer. I usually use this and this together, then use a finishing spray afterwards. So this is the Eye Magic lip palette. I call this my multi-purpose palette because this does a lot of job for me. It works for me as a lipstick. It works for me as a contour. Sometimes I use the dark shade in it to contour. It works for me as an eyeshadow base, and sometimes I use it to tint my foundation. So you don't need a lipstick of $35. This really does the job, and you can get other affordable lipsticks. There are so many of them, so much you can pick from. So you don't really need to go for the high ends if you cannot afford them. But if you can afford them, totally fine. So just get them. But if you cannot afford them, just start from where you can afford. And there are so many great affordable products you can start with, especially lipsticks. There are so many of them, so many. Down to eyeshadow primer, down to mascara. I recommend the Wing Beauty mascara. Down to the gel liner. You can use a liquid liner or a gel liner, whichever that works for you. Down to eyeshadow palette. You can work your way around them. Or if you want pigments, I recommend you get a Luster Cosmetic pigment. There are so many of them you can pick from. They are really, really affordable. So those ones are something you can just walk around with anytime, any day. So guys, these are the products I recommend you should use on your bride. You can use them on your bride perfectly well. If there's anything you think I missed from this video, just leave a question for me in the comment section and I promise to answer. So guys, at this we have come to the end of this video. Please give this video a very big thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you get to subscribe. Turn on the post notification to my post so you'll be first to notify when I post new amazing videos like this. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.